I know,
What's
right?
going on,
Hey,
buddy?
all's good, man. It's just I'm wondering why the international draft is such a big deal. I'm trying to get it from Hoff. And we know that the number of black baseball players is small. And we've talked about that over the years. They've had so many different initiatives to try to get it right. But it seems like, BT, that this international draft is the biggest thing holding it up.
There is no
And I'm trying to understand
way
why.
that this should be the obstacle to prevent us from starting the season on time.
That's my point.
International draft.
That's my point. I don't understand why this is the big
Because they're idiots.
Unless we're being misdirected and there's something else going on, which is I'm sure it is. The Stevie Cohen liking a tweet that said that they're never going to accept the player's proposal on whatever it may be, and whether that was an accident or not.
Hey, still learning how to use Twitter. Cut him a little slack here, buddy.
Even though we were given all the credit for actually using Twitter.
Exactly.
But
that's true.
The issues. This is why it's getting frustrating, because it's not. I mean, not getting, because it's been frustrating, but it's not like we're looking at this massive gap in numbers. Every day it seems like it's something minor. The international draft, and eventually Hoff will get me the number of international players. It's probably 20%, maybe 25
ish.
Right? So I guess it's a big deal. He's saying
a couple hundred.
31% actually.
All right, so probably about 400 if you do the math right. Probably a little bit more than that, actually.
And the international players are heavily against the international draft because it takes away this opportunity for them at a young age. Really, some of these kids 17, 19 years old.
Forget about that. Some kids get signed when they're 16.
Yeah, exactly. To make some real money.
Understood.
I mean, a couple $1 million in some cases. And so I get why that's important to them.
Yeah, me too. And I empathize with their plight. But,
I agree, but that can't
don't
hold
bog
up
down the season with the international draft.
That can't hold up the whole game. So there's got to be something else going on, but we just don't know. And I don't know if we ever will know, because it just seems like the owners and the players can't come to agreement on anything.
I got to be honest with you. I'm not even sure if we should talk baseball this morning.
I hear you.
I honestly don't even know.
Because what are we saying?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, my emotional meter is pretty tapped out. How many times can I keep saying, and yesterday we did the show, and I got with Dove before. I said, hey, Dove, I said, find me the Mets final out from 86. Find me the Yankees final out from 96. Find me a Piazza home run, a Strawberry home run that we had on the show. Find me a Jeter clip. Find me a DeGrom clip. Find Mariano, just to try to inject a little positivity into the day. And it wasn't contrived. I sincerely thought that yesterday would be a good day.
It felt like it.
It felt like it. And then these buffoons sabotaged at the last minute. The biggest issue now is that they keep sucking us in.
Yes.
That's my problem.
Yes.
Like, they keep sucking us in.
Yeah.
And it's starting to feel like a game. And I'm starting to take it personally now, because you can only play us and me, the fool, so many times. Now, many of you have been like, wake me up when it's done.
Yeah.
Or, it's not going to get done for a while. I have leaned toward the side of positivity, but also pragmatically. Like, I can't wrap my mind around the sport of baseball after a pandemic, after everything we've been through, after society has learned how to really, forget about function, but flourish without sports on a lot of levels.
That's right.
That these guys wouldn't find a way to get this thing done. And one of the first things that I learned in radio, all right, even if it's not what you want to talk about, because there's days where the Nets will have, I'm just throwing this as an example, like the Nets will have a big win and the Knicks will have a less important win. Although now it's funny, the Knicks are actually starting to play good basketball when we stop watching.
I know, exactly.
And if I wanted to be selfish, obviously you and I are a tandem, so I'd have, you and I would do this together. But if I wanted to be selfish, I would lean it toward, we're going to talk Knicks because I'm a Knicks fan. But that's not good. Well, actually, that is good for the show because there's not many Net fans. But the point being, you have to play the hits.
That's right.
You got to talk about what's topical. And I wish I would have put this out earlier. I put this up 9 minutes ago, like 2 minutes before the show started. Simple. Should we even talk baseball today on the show? And let's see.
Where's it trending? I know where it started.
I
know where it started. It started, no.
400 votes. Just put it up. 79.8% of you say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't even talk about baseball. Now, we can't do that because that's irresponsible and lazy.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I'm running out of directions to go. Like, the next thing is, I accidentally drop 3 F-bombs, I get fined by the FCC, and I get fired by WFAN.
Well, hopefully,
I can't tolerate this much more.
Hopefully, Dove is doing his job and would hit the dump button 4 times for you.
Well, if it's 3, it's fine. If it's 4, we got a problem.
Yeah, so hopefully you only go three F-bombs.
You never know what he's doing back there. I don't know. Matt, those fingers
He's
will be ready.
He's pouring his life cereal. That's what's going on.
God,
But BT,
what are you, cornflakes? What do you got
no,
today?
it's life cereal.
Is it life? All right.
I'm telling
Man,
you,
you
you
are
thought I was joking.
He
It's
is
life
a-
cereal.
He is a man of routine.
Yes, he is.
To the point where you never deviate.
Every single day.
It's amazing. You got
Yep.
respect for it. And in a lot of ways, makes your life easier.
Yeah.
You wake up, you put the white shirt on, you know what you're wearing, you know what you're eating, and it's actually probably easier.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm pissed off, but I'm still.
You're still optimistic?
Yes. Because I refuse to believe that when it really comes time to make the ultimate decision, if this thing bleeds into Mayish or, God forbid, beyond, that these idiots who run this sport into the ground won't find common ground and get us back on the field.
Yeah.
I still think they will.
I hear you.
I still do.
Here's why I'm
sorry, my bad for being naive.
Here's why I might be a little bit not as optimistic, BT. Reading this article by Evan Drellich in The Athletic.
From The Athletic.
Yep, from The Athletic. This is just one paragraph. There's a lot that he writes, but there's one paragraph that just catches my attention. The MLB presented 3 choices to the players. Eliminate the qualifying offer. By the way, the players want to eliminate the qualifying offer.
They do.
The owners do not. The owners want an international draft. The players do not.
Correct.
So here are the choices that were presented. Eliminate the qualifying offer and add an international draft. Right?
Compromise.
Compromise. Makes
You
sense.
get this, I
Right.
get that.
But 30%
let's go.
of 30% of the MLB players, they don't want the international draft. So you got a third of the union basically saying no. So
About 1,300 players.
So
correct.
one doesn't work.
Yeah.
Number 2, keep both the qualifying offer and the international amateur system the way that it is without a draft. So that means the players who don't want the qualifying offer now have to accept it, but we'll get rid of the international draft idea. We'll keep it the way it is. Basically status quo. That probably is not going to work.
There's no way that's going to work.
That's right. So number 3, kick the can down the road.
Yeah, meet in November and play ball now.
That's right. Play ball now.
That's what I vote
kick
for.
that down the road. But if that happens, the owners have the option to reopen the collective bargaining agreement after the 2024 season, which means that the CBA is only 3 years instead of 5 years, which is basically also untenable. So you said before, it's like you're getting taken a fool, right? The owners and I guess maybe even the players to an extent are taking you a fool, but I think it's more the owners because they're the ones that are offering these proposals. They don't want to get this done. And so I agree with you that I'm optimistic it's going to get done, but I don't think the owners want to get it done. I really don't.
Well, they don't want to get it done today.
Yes.
They need to get it done by the end of April. Otherwise, as I told you yesterday, they got to start cutting checks for rebates for these regional networks.
That's a good point.
Listen, there's definitely a definitive timeline.
But they
just don't tell us what it is. You got to be smart enough to know what it is, and that's what it is.
I would think that the owners have some sort of mitigation to that. One, either their existing businesses, other businesses, can float them for a while. They're not worried about going broke. Whereas the players, they don't really have that option. Some of them have made millions and millions of dollars, and they're okay. A lot of them have been making league minimum for a lot of years, and they're not going to be okay, not getting paychecks for however long it goes. And so it's another pressure point when you think about it, and it's what's getting frustrating because you look you just look at you put in your mind the idea that there is not a real solution to any of these issues, even though the solution feels like it's just a couple of millions of dollars when it comes to money. They're fundamentally opposed on so many different things that it doesn't feel like it's ever going to get done. And that's why this hope that gets thrown out there because they stay in a room until 2 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Later than that, it was 3 o'clock.
Whatever, 3 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Then you get Big Poppy with voicemails. Hey, Poppy, get lost, dude.
Yeah.
You're lucky that you got in the Hall of Fame because we all know that you were on that list, and we all strongly, let me protect myself, strongly surmise that some of those numbers that you put up are a little twisted and chemically enhanced because you were a 250 hitter with the Twins who played twice a week, and you average about 9.5, 11 home runs from Minnesota. Then you go to Boston. Who knows what you found in terms of pills or whatever else you took, and all of a sudden you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. So Poppy needs to shut his mouth and get lost.
Exactly.
That's where he needs to go.
You're not playing right now.
Go on the golf course, get lost, Go watch all the highlights of you and Pedro and the boys and Veritek and all those guys, Johnny Damon, the group of idiots that absolutely made our life miserable when they came back from the 3-0 deficit and they won in 7. But just get lost for a little bit. This is not your time, David Poppy, David Ortiz. We don't need to hear from you. Maybe the players, well, I know they still revere you, so I want to be fair. I mean, and I know he's a good guy. But when former players are on some level sabotaging the starting point of the season, now I'm beyond pissed. Now I'm not even sure how to comprehend this. And listen, I admit that a lot of this, I'm going to take the blame for myself here. Like, I'm not going to pass the buck. I am allowing them to manipulate my emotions.
Yes.
I get it. Maybe I should just take a page from, Hoff, who's been, which is amazing because he's a big baseball fan. No, not going to get done yet. No, He's not getting tricked. He's not getting wrapped up emotionally.
You've been consistent, Hoff.
Now, I still think he's going to be wrong, okay? But at the end of the day, the roller coaster ride that I put myself on, much like the other truly passionate baseball fans at the station and in the city, maybe that's my bad. No, maybe I need to look in the mirror, wake up, and be a little bit more measured. But that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not measured.
Yeah.
Not with things that I love.
You know what I love right now?
What?
Dove is staring you down like, don't cuss.
What's he looking at?
Don't cuss.
Oh,
he's looking at you like, is he cussing? He's got his finger hovering over the dump button.
Don't
I
worry,
can see it.
Dove.
That was
gotcha.
intense.
Hey, listen,
BT's
Johnny's
a
played
professional.
well. They strip away the anger.
Yes.
They played well.
Yes.
Says tonight's going to be fun. St. John's Nova, Seton Hall, UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Old school Big East. You got your boys at 9:30 against
Virginia,
UNC.
UNC. By the way,
Yep.
you know what today is, BT?
It is. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Wait, what is today?
It's also,
what day is today?
It's Thursday. It is Thursday. It's my father's 70th birthday.
Happy birthday there, sir.
James Barber, 70 years old.
Jimmy B.
That's right.
Jimmy B.
Half a salt and pepper.
Yeah. Used to be roommates with the Bruce Arians in college.
That's right.
You think those guys had a few socks on the door back in the day?
I'd say a few.
Yo, Bruce, get lost. I'm getting down. Yo, Jimmy, take a hike. I'm getting down. All right, 877-337-6666. We'll get these calls, but like I'm kind of kidding, but I'm not. I really am battling within how much we should even talk about this today. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's start with Joey in Long Beach on the Fan. Joey, what's going on, buddy?
Good morning.
What's happening, Joey?
I love talking to you guys. Well, happy birthday to James Barber.
Thank you, brother.
It's going to be a thing all day.
I want to let you know, yeah, my son's name is AJ, and his birthday is April 4th, and we were looking forward to – all he wanted to do was go to a Mets game, so we were planning to go to the April 2nd game to hopefully see Max Scherzer pitch, and now it's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But and you made a good point, like feeling manipulated, and I have been looking at this since the beginning about how to try and manipulate my optimism. So it's not looking like an optimistic perspective that we're going to have baseball, but I'm optimistic that the players are holding out for so long.
Yeah.
Whenever, and you brought it up great yesterday with how the owners are not showing books when we need to have like a good discussion with contract.
About revenues,
salary cap,
and percentages, and the CBT, how much it should raise, how much money is there for the arbitration pool, like all that stuff.
Yes, and so for them to go so far, and then at the 11th hour to throw in this poison pill about something that they haven't discussed in so long, it just shows that they're in it for the long haul, and I'm happy. Actually, because I'm manipulating myself. Like, I'm not expecting baseball. I'm expecting a fight between players and owners to come out of this, hopefully in a composed way, but for the right, for just justice. Yeah. And it
for the players, you mean?
Well, listen, you want it to be equitable, Joey. No, I got you, buddy. Thanks for the call there. You want it to be fair. I'll tell you one thing.
By the way, Joey, my kid's name is AJ as well.
Up in the Bronx where the people were fresh, there was one DJ who could pass the test because he's down below and he's ready to play. That's right, y'all. His name was AJ. A lot of people are telling me, oh, just get ready, minor league baseball. Listen, I love minor league baseball. Minor league baseball does nothing for me in terms of scratching the itch that's major league baseball. I can't even front. Like, and I'll go to the Boulders. Yeah. My buddy Gary Perone is with Staten Island. I'll go watch them. There's no question. I'll check out the Ducks. I've been to the Duck Stadium when Buddy Harrelson was the skipper back in the day. Like, I will do these things, but let's not kid ourselves. I mean, going to watch a bunch of kids you don't know
That's right.
is not even close to going to watch Aaron Judge smash a 479-foot bomb or DeGrom throw 101 miles an hour in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and even if you're talking about the Yankees, who have some interesting prospects, they're all on different levels. You know what I mean? You're not going to see Volpe and Peraza on the same squad, so it doesn't make any. How much minor league baseball can you watch?
Well, I hear Evan saying, I'm going to go and watch it, and I respect it, but that's just not me. Like, I'm going to go and watch this A team and then AA here and for both the Yanks. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going out. I want Bronx and Queens. I mean, I've got massive respect for minor league baseball, but that is not filling the gap. Steve is in Harrington Park on the Fan. What's up, Stevie?
Hey, great show, guys.
Appreciate it, Steve.
To you.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe I'm going to get jumped on for this, but I have no compassion toward these players, and I'll tell you why. I'm in sales.
Hater.
I'm successful at what I do.
Okay.
Okay? I don't make $20, $30, $40 million a year.
Neither do most of the players, by the way.
Okay, fine. But what's
That's a good
minimum
point.
wage now? $700,000, $800,000?
It's currently $570. They're trying to get it to $700.
No, they already concessed. They already conceded.
Okay.
They met that. They try to get it up to about $740. Yes, it's already at $7 though. Minimally, yeah.
All right,
and it goes up to $726 in a couple of years.
I can live with that. But
Yeah.
my point is, look at the owners. Where did they get the money to buy these teams? They were so successful. Take Steve Cohen on the Mets with his hedge funds and all. They worked their way, went to top schools. Some of these players, and I'm not knocking them, but the majority of these players didn't even go to college.
What does
They
that
don't
have to do,
anything.
Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what it
cares?
has to do. They have a God-given ability that maybe 3% of the country has.
Less than
and
3%.
They're making, okay, less.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
They're
got you.
making millions and millions of dollars.
'Cause
What
they've
would
earned
they
it.
do if they didn't play
They've
baseball?
earned it.
What would they do?
I don't know.
I
have no idea.
I mean, you can't.
But that's not the point, Steve.
Yeah, I agreed.
And I understand the frustration. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Yeah.
But that is the wrong point to illuminate.
Yeah, look, you got to
Come on, man. That's not fair.
I agree. You got to be professional in something. And some of these guys are really smart players. They just love baseball and they're great at baseball. So then why not be a professional baseball player?
Yeah.
Right? It'd be like an artist or let's say a musician going to school. And, in 3 years, he's writing great music. And he's just like, I don't need to go to school to do this. I can just turn pro. He doesn't have a degree, but can be highly successful.
No question.
Right? I think it's the same thing in sports. We just see sports differently because it's always been tied to education. Like, think about this. Sports, and we'll take a break here, BT, but sports has always been tied to, well, you got to get an education in order to play sports. You want to go to college, you got to, you want to get a scholarship,
Yeah.
and you play sports.
Beyond that, it even starts just being eligible.
That's right.
Merely
That's
being
right.
eligible to play.
That's right.
High school and college.
But that's not necessarily how other professions determine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the wrong
what's
point
going to be
make there.
successful. I
because
agree.
it marginalizes the work ethic that, like, yes, you are born. I've always said somebody like Tiki was, and again, you had to harness this incredible God-given gift that you and Rondé were both given.
Yeah.
You have great genes, much better than me. But God, this is my way of explaining athleticism, touched you with 10 fingers or 9 3/4 when you were born. He touched me with 7. He touched Gio with 2. Nah, I'm just kidding. There's all varying degrees of whatever, right? But there's a lot of people who get touched with the 9+ fingers.
And don't
but
make
not
it.
everybody busts their ass
That's right.
like you.
That's right.
So that's why I get it, Steve. You're frustrated, but it marginalizes the approach, the process, and the dedication.
Yes.
Whether or not you went to college should not be a disqualifier.
It's
Come
immaterial.
on,
It's
man.
immaterial.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that. All right, so I guess we are talking about this. You going to suck us in? If you don't want to. I mean, but we really don't have to.